Cuphead? Get it? Because it's the head of a fucking creeper? Hey everybody, it's your Highness Pubert here. Before we start, I just wanted to apologize for the echo that you're hearing right now. I'm in a different location. Can't you tell? Wow. I'll try and fix it by the next video, alright? Fuck, just leave me alone. Jesus. Cuphead! Ever heard of that? Ever heard of this cute little fella? I'm sure you have. Or at least I hope you have. Cuphead is only the absolute best indie game ever! I know I might have said some things about it that were less than stellar back then. Cuphead is trash and I'm tired of people praising it! But I was fat and dumb back then, so my opinions didn't matter. And besides, I did this. Would you really trust a man that would do something like that? Honestly though, Cuphead has slowly started becoming one of my favorite indie games ever. The beautiful animation done with cells, the rubber hose style, the music, the gameplay, oh my god. I only wish Cuphead was real so I could make out with him too. I'm sure you've probably heard a lot about Cuphead already. I mean, I know I have. Just look at how many hours I've already put into this game. Oh, I also bought it on Switch, and look how many hours I've played it on that. So, I think I have some semblance of authority to talk about Cuphead. So, how's the DLC? You mean the one we've been waiting for 5 fucking years? Honestly though, it was all totally worth it. And guess what? I'll tell you why it was, just like fucking always!
Spoilers ahead, by the way.
I'm gonna talk about each of the bosses in detail because they're just fucking awesome. And it's better to go into them blind in my funny little honest opinion. Alright, so Cuphead. If you don't know Cuphead, I'll give you the rundown. It's a run and gun platformer where you fight a ton of bosses to beat the game, and there are some platforming sections. But the bosses are the cooler part here. The game is also so notoriously difficult, you'll shit yourself. Trust me, I know from experience. All the bosses in this game are like these insanely beautiful portrayals of how batshit crazy that era of rubber hose animation was. And the DLC adds even more of that. More music, more power-ups, more amazing bosses, more character. But first, let's talk about the new character, Miss Chalice. She's basically the center of this DLC. It starts off by spawning a boatman on the map telling you that Miss Chalice needs your help, and the boatman just takes you there. Cool. Then you meet Miss Chalice and she's like,
"Here, eat this cookie, Mugman."
and he's just like, "They killed my boy Mugman? What the fuck? What kind of satanic shit is this? She just possessed his corpse with a cookie. My boy Mugman deserved better." Look, and then she's like,
Bye.
look at her, not taking responsibility for her actions. Fucking bitch. Well, there is a lesson to be learned here. Don't accept cookies from women. Ever. Miss Chalice then says she's been looking for a way out of the astral plane and managed to find a way out with the help of Chef Saltbaker, aka this guy. Wow. Women seeking help from men? How progressive of you, Cuphead. Then it's explained that the effect from the cookie is only temporary, and Saltbaker explains that there's a thing called the Wonder Tart he can cook up that will give Miss Chalice complete control of the astral plane, and she won't need to swap places with someone to be part of the corporeal plane. In order to bake this Wonder Tart, the 3 heroes need to defeat formidable foes once again to obtain said ingredients for the Wonder Tart. Hold on. If Miss Chalice is in the astral plane as a ghost, that means she died, right? Bitch, you already had your fun in the corporeal plane, the fuck? Your time's been up. And judging by the statues in Rugged Ridge and the fact you're the legendary Chalice, means you're probably old enough to know what Jesus Christ's dick looked like. So how about you stop being so fucking selfish and just stay dead? Women, am I right? Cuphead and Mugman happily oblige because they would like to see their friend alive, I guess, and don't really think about the consequences of giving one singular person complete control of the astral plane. But what the fuck do I know about anything, right? So how does she play? Well, she plays a little different from the original two characters. For starters, she has a double jump, which comes in handy to maneuver yourself through the air easier. Her parry move is actually her dash, so it changes things up quite a bit. Because of that, you have to approach parrying things a little bit differently. She also has a Dark Souls roll that's invincible, but it can't be done in the air, and she also gets an extra hit point. I guess that means she must be OP as fuck, right? No, shut up. Women can't be OP. She isn't OP because the magic cookie you use to play as her takes up a charm slot, so you can't equip her with the best charm in the game, the smoke bomb, that makes your dash invincible, because if you were able to, you'd have no parry. Because of these moves, she plays wildly different, and if you played as much Cuphead as I have, it's a bit hard to get used to. But once you get used to her moveset, she is a really fun character to play as. I honestly thought they'd just make her a reskin of Cuphead and Mugman, but the fact they made her a unique character is awesome, and mastering her moveset is satisfying. That extra hit point she gets helps when you're S-ranking the levels, because normally you're not supposed to get hit at all and beat them on the hardest difficulty to S-rank the bosses. But with Miss Chalice's extra hit point, you're actually allowed to get hit once. S-ranking the bosses is still as hard as me whenever I'm playing this game. All of her animations are really nice too. They actually seem a bit more polished than some of Cuphead and Mugman's animations. Her idol animation is super cute, and she just kind of sways her hands out all adorable like. My gosh, she's just so fucking cute. I just wanna
This joke has been redacted because it makes Pubert seem like a sexist pig. He is one, but you're not supposed to know that.
Alright, enough about women. How are the bosses? Do you not remember what I said
4 minutes and 34 seconds ago?
They're fucking awesome! They're such a feast for the eyes. The art, animation, and creativity is unrivaled. Okay, so first, Glumstone the Giant. He's like a giant made out of mountain, or he could be a mountain made out of giant. I can't tell, honestly. It's also crazy because you're like fighting on his beard on the mountaintop, and there are like little gnome freaks crawling out of it. Like, why are you even in there? You're suffocating to death. And then they come out and shoot you with like golden nuggets from the top of their head somehow, and they're also inside the giant. They're fucking scary too, with their strings for limbs and shit. I'm gonna have nightmares of them crawling up my ass at night. This part is difficult because you have to keep track of a lot of shit trying to hurt you. The clouds, the golden nuggets, the little gnomes that climb up on the platforms and break open your skull to expose your brain with their hammers. And then you can't even touch the ground without the gnomes poking you in the ass. Anyway, the second phase starts with Glumstone doing a funny little puppet show of King Dice and the Devil playing catch. Why are they playing catch? This phase is hard because of the bastard gnomes! They ball up and come crashing down on you like. Oh cool, I beat it! I really hope there isn't some weird transition to the next phase.
What the fuck? Oh.
حمود حبيبي حمود حبيبي.
This phase of the boss is kinda icky. You beat up a tumor in the giant's tummy or something. You might want to check yourself for cancer, Glumstone. Just saying. Like all of the bosses, the entirety of Glumstone's boss fight is art that should be put up in a museum. There's so much that happens, like when the gnomes attack you from his mouth and you're shooting at them, the light from your bullets lights up the inside of the giant's mouth, and you see the gnome's shadows on the inside of his cheek. And then there's this crowd of gnomes watching the puppet show in the second phase. Some of them actually have tools. One of them's got a beer and is probably a raging alcoholic. And then here's this one that has binoculars, probably because his eyesight sucks cock. Now that Glumstone's family was informed that he's lost the battle with cancer because of Cuphead, we continue on to the next fight. Mortimer Freeze. This guy's also a spectacle. The first part is kinda meh, though. He just kinda floats around attacking you with a whale, icicle dudes, and tarot cards like he's some sort of white girl. Not bad, just definitely not the best this game has to offer. I do like the snowbeard thing he has going on and how the crowd reacts to the changing of the phases. In the second phase, he gets into a snow mecha and fights you with the Cienko blades and some Silver Sonic moves. See, I'm a real gamer. I can spot video game references. I bet you didn't spot them, you fucking poser! He also turns into a fridge and chucks ice cubes at you. That's not a video game reference, though. In the last part of this phase, he turns into a snowflake. Mortimer sends buckets to attack you, his fucking eyeball, and
Ice cream!
I'll probably be saying this a lot throughout the review, but I love how crazy this fight is towards the end. How he squeezes his eyeball out and like summons an ice cream shop clerk to spit ice cream out at you. And the snow mecha that he gets into? This one's my least favorite of the bosses, but that doesn't mean it's still not cool as fuck. Like, when do you get to see a snow mecha turn into a snowflake mecha?
Oh my god, were they on weed when they were making these bosses or something?
Dude, I just got a fucking idea. So like, what if we make a boss fight that's like a wizard and then he chucks Pokemon cards at you and then he gets into a snowman and like he summons popsicles with eyes and wings to like attack you or something. Dude, that's like awesome. And then he could like turn into a snowflake, like a literal snowflake, and then he like pops his eye out and then he goes out into the screen like this, and then he like shoots a laser from his eye, but like vertically, dog. That would be like so crazy, dude. Liberal snowflake. Yeah, right? And then it would be like so cool if you would like start sucking my cock, bro. Dude, that would be like what? Esther Winchester. She's like a cow sheriff. Pretty cool. This boss fight is unique because it's the one and only plane fight in the DLC. It starts off with Esther fighting you from inside a saloon on wheels, shooting snake oil and lassoing cacti at you. Meanwhile, a bird with a hat and funny flying horses shoot shit at you. Alright, pretty normal. And then she like pulls out a vacuum and sucks up a bunch of money from like the clouds. I don't know where the fuck the money comes from. And shoots it back at you. Alright, still pretty ordinary. Huh. I guess nothing weird's gonna happen. I swear, these fucking boss fights are insane! Like, when she's trying to vacuum you up, she's backpedaling on the spurs on her boots. Like, who would have thought of that? I don't know, but it's fucking awesome! And in the third phase of the fight, she gets canned. Like, bro, canned wieners? Fucking yummy. And you know what else is yummy? The next boss fight. They're the Moonshine Mob, comprised of many insects. A spider, flies, a lightbug, an anteater, and a snail. And they rock. Insects can't run a mob. That's just asinine. You're telling me they manufacture megaphones small enough for snails to hold? Dude, that's fucking awesome. Now they'll be able to tell us all the secrets they hold. Yo, that's awesome. Dude, he just called you a bitch. Anyway, the boss starts off with a war between the police and the mob, and you're caught in the middle of it. Except the police aren't really doing a good job, just like in real life. In the second phase, you fight the Lightbug, and she uses the power of music to hurt you while fucking barrels of alcohol dance across the screen. Can't blame them though, the beat is fucking fire. But the hardest part of this boss is the fucking anteater! I wish I could just rip his stupid long snout and just shove it up his ass. This boss is fucking hard because you can only hurt his snout when it comes out on the side of the screen. So you have a very limited window to hurt him. You can't consistently hurt him like all the other bosses. And then you have to deal with the fucking cartoon ball of violence he shoots out at you and that bounces around the fucking screen. If you don't destroy that ball, he can spawn more and more. It's just like, bro, let me kill you! And that isn't even the worst part. Look at this shit. Oh my gosh, thank God it's finally over. Yeah, I beat it. Fuck you for thinking otherwise. Alright, last but not least, the Howling Aces, which is just a bunch of doggies flying planes. This one's crazy because you're on this plane, and the little guy that taught you how to fly the planes in the base game is flying it, which is a pretty neat little callback thing. It's fucking cool because it's the platform you control depending on where you are on it, and it's just an awesome setting to fight in. Fighting on top of the planes while mountains and shit fly by. What else am I gonna call it? It's fucking awesome! I don't even know why you try to argue that it's not, because you'd just be wrong, dude. It's even cooler because it's a whole team of dogs, you know, like a dog fight? I don't know, I thought it was pretty funny. You have the dog in the plane in the first phase, the little puppies in the jetpacks that bark at you menacingly, and their leader, the lady dog that flies the main airship, which is a crazy long-ass dog ship. During the first phase, dogs attack you with tennis balls, and fire hydrants come down from above to hydrate you painfully, all while the pilot flexes so hard his tattoo comes out and attacks you. Actually, have I shown you guys my Freddy Fazbear tattoo? It's kinda small, so you might not be able to see it. See, it's right here on my arm. And like, it does this funny little thing when I flex, see? The second phase has you attacking the little puppies, and they do this freaky little thing when they die. If people in real life died like that, we'd be too scared to kill anyone. When you kill the literal children, it does this cool thing where the airship grows arms and then grabs the camera and holds you in place. I wish cool things like this would happen in real life when you kill children. It makes for a pretty crazy setting to fight in, and guns come out of its toe beams. But the part that gets me every time is when the fucking screen flips and you have to dodge attacks like this while the controls are all out of whack. It's also disorienting, but regardless of that, it's really cool once you get used to it. All the visuals are just so interesting and cool. I really don't know how else to say it. No other games do shit like this, and I haven't even talked about the cool challenges section. Like, look at that! The model for that castle is awesome and impressive. It's hard not to just sit there and admire it all like, dude, what the fuck? Dude! Anyway, yeah, that's totally the last boss fight. I'm 2000% sure of it. So, you go back to Chef Saltbaker, and then this happens. Uh-oh. I think we caught him jerking off, guys. What the fuck? I trusted you! How could you betray us like this? Essentially, there is one ingredient the chef didn't tell you about, and it's a soul.
Wow, I did not see that coming.
That wasn't sarcastic. I actually didn't. No, I didn't see that coming. He then takes Miss Chalice prisoner, or if you're playing as Miss Chalice, Saltbaker takes Cuphead or Mugman prisoner, depending on who you originally picked, and mentions that the Wonder Tart will give him power over the physical and astral plane, making him stupid powerful. Probably powerful enough to beat Goku. Saltbaker then fights you using the ingredients you collected, or I guess you could say he murders and tortures them to use them against you. It's so sad! Look at that little sugar cube! He wasn't even doing anything!
Oh no, the limes!
That dough can go fuck itself.
Oh my god, the bucket of strawberries!
Crazy amounts of projectiles attack you from off screen in this phase, and it's extremely fucking hard. And that fire up there, it can actually go die. I want that Little Flame's entire family to get cancer, and then he has to sit there and watch them die slowly in their fucking beds, because every time you think you dodged everything, he just fucking... So the second phase is pretty insane too. He takes you up to the ceiling after growing in size, and he attacks you with salt. And Woodman's attack. Another video game reference you didn't get. After this phase though, shit gets insane. As the bakery crumbles, you end up in the salt dimension or some shit, and you fight some fruity twirling figures made of salt with the added buzzsaw at the bottom to make it just a little harder. The fourth and final phase is also batshit crazy. You fight between two pillars of salt with falling platforms, while Saltbaker's heart bounces between them. Who came up with this? Dude, if they were here right now, I'd give them head this instant. You know, I love this game so much, I actually gave myself a little challenge to S-rank the new bosses with Miss Chalice. You know, just cuz. Just in case you don't know, to S-rank a boss in Cuphead, you have to beat it in under a certain amount of time, beat it with at least 3 HP remaining, parry things at least 3 times, use your super meter at least 6 times, and beat it on the expert difficulty. So, how do you think that went? Miss Chalice was a bit hard to get used to playing as, but let me just go ahead and show you how this challenge went.
I'm gonna kill your entire family!
Wieners, 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 wieners. I feel nothing. Literally everyone on this team deserves head every waking minute of their lives. Their minds are just bursting with originality and creativity. It's actually just insane. Every single boss transition is so creative. None of them just cut to the second phase, except maybe the one where it fades to white in the Chef Saltbaker boss fight. But shut up. There's the Esther Winchester fight where she sucks up the house. The transition to the third phase of the fight of the Moonshine Mob, where the Anteater breaks the platforms and transforms the setting of the fight. The Howling Aces airship transition where it grabs you. It's also insanely creative. All the animations are perfection. The art is beautiful. The background's incredible. I mean, that's true for the entire game, but in the DLC, everything is just more insane. For such a small package, this DLC adds so much value to the original game, and it's such a low price too. They did all this work for the DLC, and it's only $8. I ended up buying it twice, it's so cheap. And it was 100% worth it. Maybe I'm a little biased since Cuphead has slowly started becoming one of my favorite games, but fuck you! Cuphead just does such an amazing job at keeping the essence of those old Rubber Hose cartoons, all while breathing new life into the art form. And the gameplay is also fun and addicting. Learning the boss's patterns and the best strategy to S-rank them is such a fun challenge. Anyway, go buy Cuphead, go buy the DLC. I don't care that it's popular. This game deserves all the money in the world. Oh, Cuphead.
Thanks, I'll take all that money and then go buy some crack.
Cuphead, you can't do that. Drugs are bad.
Pussy, no wonder you got no bitches.
Cuphead, that's not very nice. Please apologize.
All right, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That you're such a bitch. And that you suck, fat cock. And that. Oh shit, I'm too high to come up with an insult.